Hi everyone, this is Kristen from Over the Moon Oracle Cards, and this is a DIY Oracle tutorial. I wanted to show you the app that I use to add the borders to most of my card decks. This is the Tiled app. It is a basic collage app, and I use it for any cards where I want to have a space to write in, like say the tarot card name or any other information or border for the card. And I take this image that I create in Tiled, I pull it directly into Printer Studio, and I type in Printer Studio the border, the name, the title, whatever on the card from there. So this is a tutorial showing you how I do that. Here's just a quick example of what I'm talking about. This is my Essential Essence Oracle deck, and at the top I've put in the picture of the plant or tree or flower, and then at the bottom I've used a white background for the border, and that's the area that I use to write in the name of the essence. When you open the app, you're going to see this screen, and I'm going to show you how to make a template. This is just a basic collage app. There's plenty of templates already when you open it, but I'm going to show you how to create a new template. So at the top on the right side, you want to go into Favorites. Once you're in Favorites, you want to go down to the bottom left and tap New, because we're going to make a new template. What you're seeing in this Favorites area are templates I've already made. So I'm going to show you how to start a new one. You're going to see this pop up that says Select Base Format, and this is where you're going to select the size, really your final card size. So it's important to know what that's going to be. Are you making a poker size card, a bridge size card, a tarot size card? Are you doing it in portrait or landscape orientation? You really need to know all this first. And then once you know that, you're going to select the size that you think is closest based on this list. Also, if you're using iPhone 6 and you're using this app on that, you'll actually see some additional formats, because I believe they have a 16:9 formatting that you can use, which I typically use for tarot size cards. In this case, I've circled a landscape size card that I want to show you. Once we select our base format, you're going to see a grid, and what you're going to do is just select the area that you want to separate or merge. And in this case, I want to select the area first where I'm going to pull in my photo or image. Here you can see where I've selected the area, and every time you just tap on these little squares, they just turn orange. And now we want to select the tiles that we want to merge. Actually, at this point, we've already selected them. They're in the orange. We just want to tap Merge. And so now you can see that those orange tiles have merged into one big area. And this big area is where I'm going to pull in my photo or image. And so we're going to do the very same process with the bottom. The bottom is going to be that border area where we write our title for the card. So I just tap on all those squares and tap Merge again. And here we can see where those squares have been merged, and now we have a little border at the bottom. So you have the top area where the photo is going to go, and the bottom area where all we're going to do right now is put in a color. And then when we pull this whole thing into, say, Printer Studio, we can just type into this blank area at the bottom. So when we like what we have, we just tap OK, and that will save it now to our favorites. And so we can see this one that we created in our favorites is actually one I use pretty frequently. It's that top middle one. But I want to show you another example, this time with a portrait orientation template, and this is one I've already used. I use this template a lot for it's almost a poker size. It's the one that I use for my Tarot Everywhere deck, Oracle Everywhere deck, and a lot of the decks, because I like the width and the length of it. So we're just going to tap on the one that we want to use, and then we press start. Now that we have the template that we want to use in place, what we do first is tap the top part, and then at the bottom you'll see import, and that's what I want you to tap. I've already tapped that and pulled that up. And now we want to import a photo or image, so tap album to pull that in. And here you can see that I've already pulled in something from my photo album. And again, this will be wherever you pull in your main photo or image. So we're going to do the same thing for the bottom, but this time we don't want to pull in an image to the bottom. We're actually going to just put a color in there. So here we've tapped on our bottom square and tapped import. But in this case, we want to tap the little paint roller for color. And I typically use just white or black for most of my decks, depending on what the color scheme looks best. But you can use any of these colors. You can also create your own color to put down here at the bottom. So you can see I've chosen white for this border, and you can see the pictures in the top, the color white is in the bottom, and you can see a little black line that separates the two. Now that's the frame. And for me, I don't like the frame, but if you want to keep the frame in, you can always just leave it like that. I try to have as little frame as possible. I want it to be as seamless as possible. So in order to access the frame, just tap anywhere in this dark area around the card. And then you'll see frame and just tap on it. It's going to be in this right corner. And when you tap on frame, you'll see a lot of different other things that you can do with the frame. And the frame is really whatever the edge is around each section of the collage. You can change the corners, make them rounded if you want. I usually don't do anything with that. I change the color of the frame so that it matches the bottom border area, and then I also change the size of the frame, which you'll see with the little slider. So in this case, I'm changing the frame color. Again, we go to that little paint roller, and I'm changing the frame color to white. And here you can see that I've taken that slider all the way down to the left, and so there should not be any frame color showing at all. And so this would be my final image. You can see the photo at the top, and there's just a blank white space. So when I pull this into Printer Studio, I'll have a lot of space to write something in there if I choose to. And now we're ready to save the image. We just go to the top right corner, you'll see an arrow. Just tap that arrow. When you tap that arrow, you'll see a save box pop up, and just tap save, and it will save to your camera roll. And that's it. That's the whole process. Depending on what deck you want to do, you might have to choose a different base format and kind of play around with that. But it's really just as simple as pulling in your picture and then just choosing a color and then pulling that image. Now you have a new image, and you're just going to pull that whole image into Printer Studio and go from there. Thanks for watching.